a bit of a trade heavy day. We want to get into that for you. We have a question from Joseph that will actually help us move on to that. So he says, what is your opinion on the Domi and Murray trades? So going into today, it was a bit quiet. I think people were itching for some trades. And so we got some, obviously, with Ottawa grabbing Matt Murray. We talked about that today. I saw a pretty viral tweet that they're in Toronto's rearview mirror now because of getting a 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Saw that.
I don't know if they're right there in the rearview mirror, but it definitely won't hurt the Ottawa Senators. So I guess what's your main takeaway of how Ottawa has improved over the last 48 hours?
Well, I mean, you look at a lot of the worst teams in the league, even the San Jose Sharks, who a lot of us expected to be a Stanley Cup contender, possibly. Ottawa probably thought they were getting the 31st pick, not the 3rd. They end up getting Stützle with the pick they got for Erik Karlsson. The worst teams in the league don't get any goaltending. And now they got Matt Murray. Now, some people might be saying, well, he had an awful season last year and he's lost his touch. Man, Matt Murray's already had like a full NHL career. He's only 26 years old. He's won 2 Stanley Cups. I have a hard time believing Matt Murray forgot how to goalie overnight. He's been through a lot. He lost his father. I think a change of scenery and, building with the Ottawa Senators, who, not the greatest hockey team, but man, they work hard. And I actually think they're pretty fun to watch. They're always pesky when you play them. Really, I think it's an absolutely wonderful pickup for the Ottawa Senators. And so what if it doesn't work out? To me, they gave up Gruden, the forward, who's a 4th-round pick for in 2018, and a 2nd rounder. So essentially a 2nd and a 4th for a 2-time Stanley Cup champion goaltender who's still in their mid-20s. After picking 3 times in the 1st round, it's a win. It's a risk worth taking every day. They did great.
So Scott in the chat does not agree. Classic. He says Murray is a shadow of himself.
Yeah, he forgot. He forgot how to play hockey. And dude, Corey Perry, who is 9 years older than him, matched his regular season goal total in the playoffs. It's that, and this isn't an old man. This is a guy who should be entering the prime of his career. And you can't tell me the Pittsburgh Penguins were very good defensively this past season. Speaking of a shadow of yourself, I think the Pittsburgh Penguins were a shadow of their Stanley Cup contending teams of 2017 and 2016. Matt Murray is a good bet for the Ottawa Senators. It's good for him.
I saw some Leafs fans that were like, for that price, it would have been great to have grabbed him for Toronto. And I mean, there's a lot of what ifs, but if that's all it took, it does seem like a good option as a backup, at least for the Leafs, if Freddie Anderson's going to be their, number one. So another trade we had today was Max Domi being traded to the Blue Jackets for Josh Anderson. I guess that was yesterday. Who knows? Days are just a blur now, And now Domi has already signed a 2-year, $10.6 million deal with the Jackets. So I'm curious to get your initial thoughts on that. I don't know for sure if Domi was really happy in Montreal. I know there's been some exit interviews saying that he's excited for a fresh start. And, he did change his agent in September. So there was a little bit of a speculation that a change would happen. And yesterday we got the trade. So what are your thoughts?
Well, any Leaf fans watching this already know that this is Darren Ferris's world, and we're all just living in it. Darren Ferris, obviously Mitch Marner's agent, who cleaned the Leafs clock last summer, and he also happens to represent Max Domi and Josh Anderson. And my little tinfoil hat conspiracy theory is this guy orchestrated the trade. He managed to get one of his clients, Max Domi, change the scenery. He managed to get him to, actually a state with a lot less tax. So I think that's probably important for his paycheck as well. And he got him a 2-year contract that conveniently takes him all the way to unrestricted free agency. And that's not even mentioning Josh Anderson. I'm a little bit confused about why, after Anderson put up just 4 points last season in under 30 games due to injury, I'm a little confused as to why Montreal felt the need to add a 3rd rounder with Max Domi, who even in an offseason at least put up 40 points. That was very confusing for me. I know a lot of Habs fans, they're happy with getting some size and snarl, which Josh Anderson definitely... Snarl.
That's a good one.
I know you're happy to fill a need there, but I just worry that they saw the playoff performances of Philip Deneau and Nick Suzuki and just put all their eggs hardcore in that basket. Yeah, you fill a need there, but it's not like Domi's a pushover. There was clearly a disconnect between him and Claude Julien, who he refused to comment on. Right. Max did. There was clearly a disconnect there. I was saying this to you on the phone before I was rudely interrupted by my many screaming fans. I think Darren Ferris is going to be an NHL executive one day. I think he might be a general manager because to me, the visuals, it just looks like he orchestrated this entire deal.
I thought it was interesting. I saw a tweet that was later deleted, but I'm not quite sure if it was just because it was false information, but that they were actually golfing together, the two of them, when they got traded, which I don't know if that's ever happened before, but a pretty rare circumstance. I know they're good friends, the two of them, but imagine you're golfing and you both get a call like, oh, hey, like, we've been, oh yeah, both of us are, oh, cool. Like, that's pretty rare, if that's the fact. That tweet was deleted, so I'm just not sure, but pretty cool story if that is the case. Anyway.
Don't you want it to be true? I do.
I do, so I'm just going to manifest that that's true. Don't quote me on it, but we're hoping that it's true. One other thing, I know you mentioned that Domi maybe didn't want to comment on his relationship with the coach. How is it going to work with Torts as his new head coach? You know, that could be fiery, to say the least. What are your thoughts on that matchup there?
Well, it might be a match made in heaven. You know, maybe because Max Domi needs to play with that fire. It's what he played with at the World Juniors in 2015 that made so many people like him, and the tongue wagging, goals that he scored with Connor McDavid on his line. He needs to play a rougher style. He became this kind of finesse playmaker guy, and he's allowed to do all that. I mean, the Columbus Blue Jackets are not allergic to talent and scoring, but I think John Tortorella, a fiery coach, could be exactly what Max Domi needs, actually.